Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of Bringing Children Home. This podcast is dedicated to parents who are facing one of the most difficult experiences imaginable: the abduction of a child across borders. My goal is to give you clarity, guidance, and, above all, hope. Let's begin with something very real. Imagine this: your child goes on holiday with the other parent. Maybe just a few weeks abroad. Everything seems normal. But when it's time to come home, the other parent says, "We're not coming back." Or maybe your ex-partner moves abroad with your child without asking you, without your agreement, and without permission from the courts. In a single moment, your life is turned upside down. You feel powerless, you feel betrayed, and most of all, you feel afraid for your child's future. The first truth: you are not alone. Here is the very first thing I want you to remember. You are not the first parent to go through this, and you are not alone. Around the world, thousands of parents every year face international child abduction. Because of this, there is a system, an international treaty designed to help. It's called the Hague Convention of 1980. Now, I know treaties sound complicated, but I promise we will make this simple. The Hague Convention in plain words. The Hague Convention exists for one clear reason: to protect children from wrongful removal or retention across international borders. It does not decide who is the better parent. It does not settle custody permanently. Instead, it asks one essential question: where should custody be decided? Let me give you an example. If your child's habitual residence is Italy and the other parent wrongfully takes them to France, the Hague Convention allows you to request their return to Italy. Once they are back, Italian courts, not French courts, decide custody. The idea is to stop parents from creating a new normal by moving a child abroad without consent. Why time is so important? Here's something that many parents don't realize until it's too late. Time is critical. The Hague Convention has a rule called the 12-month rule. If you apply within 12 months of the abduction, the judge must order return, unless there is an exceptional reason not to. But if you wait longer than 12 months, the court can refuse return if the child is now settled in the new country. Settled means in school, making friends, building a routine. This is why waiting, hoping things will fix themselves, is so dangerous. Every week, every month you delay, the case becomes more difficult. The role of Italian courts. If the abduction involves Italy, the case is handled by the juvenile courts, the Tribunali per i minorenni. These courts specialize in children and families. They are required to act quickly. In theory, Hague cases should be decided within 6 weeks. In practice, it can take longer, but the spirit of the law is urgency. And here's something unique about Italy. Unlike most family cases, Hague Convention decisions cannot be appealed in the ordinary way. The only possible challenge is to the Supreme Court of Cassation, the highest court in Rome. This makes your very first steps even more important. What you need to start. If your child has been abducted, what do you need to do? 1. Collect documents, birth certificates, custody orders, proof of the child's residence, school records, travel documents, anything that shows where the child lived and what the agreements were. 2. Act immediately. You can apply through your country's central authority, which will work with Italy, or you can go directly to an Italian lawyer. 3. Stay focused. Remember, this is not about who is the better parent. It is about returning the child to their home country. The emotional side. Now let's pause for a moment. Legal steps are important, but let's be honest. The emotional side of this is overwhelming. Parents often feel guilty. How did I not see this coming? They feel ashamed. What will people think? They feel paralyzed. I don't know where to start. If you are feeling these emotions, you are not weak, you are human. And these feelings are exactly why you need clear information and steady guidance. A real life story, anonymized. Let me share a story. A mother in Northern Europe allowed her child to visit Italy for what was supposed to be a summer holiday with the father. When September came, the child did not return. The father enrolled the child in an Italian school, saying, "She is happy here now. Why disturb her?" The mother hesitated. She hoped they could talk it out. But months passed. By the time she filed her Hague application, the child was already deeply settled in Italy. The court refused return. The lesson? Delay is dangerous. Good intentions, patience, even hope can work against you in these cases, from paralysis to action. So what should you do when fear is overwhelming? Instead of thinking, "This is too complicated," shift your mindset to, "Every day matters. Every action brings me closer to bringing my child home." That change is powerful. It turns fear into movement. It transforms anxiety into steps forward. And in cases like this, steps forward are exactly what you need. Final thoughts. So, let's recap today's message. 1. You are not alone. 2. The Hague Convention exists to help. 3. Time is critical. Act quickly. 4. In Italy, Hague cases go to juvenile courts, and only the Supreme Court of Cassation can review them. 5. Emotions are strong, but clarity and action are stronger. In the next episode, we'll take a closer look at the Hague Convention itself, step by step, so you'll understand exactly how it works and what to expect. Outro music fades in. Thank you for listening to Bringing Children Home. If you found this episode useful, I invite you to follow the podcast so you won't miss the next episodes. You can also visit my website at www.cecatiello.it for more resources, and connect with me on Instagram and LinkedIn, where I share insights and updates on international family law. See you in the next episode.